Well, hey there, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of the TINT Tint podcast. Tint stands for There Is No Template, and what that means is something that we'll discuss at another time.
A later date will tell you.
One of these days we'll tell you.
It's kind of like a cliffhanger, right?
Yeah, it'll be like our season finale. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the support and views, and please continue to tell friends. We wanted this to grow, and subscribe.
Or don't do it.
Well, we prefer it if you did.
Yeah, if you did, it'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice. So, let's get going here. Episode 6, boy.
Alright.
You ready for this?
No.
What are we talking about today?
I don't know.
You do know.
I think we're going to talk about, let's talk about...
Hey, wait, before you go.
Okay.
So, we've gotten a lot of great support with our previous episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one has been the one that's kind of been lacking. Because it's our Thanksgiving episode.
Which is probably the best episode we've ever made.
Well, the thing about it is Thanksgiving sucks. So that's why people probably don't want to watch it too much.
Well, I also have not seen it, so...
Well, that's part of the problem. You haven't even watched it. But the other thing that we talk about that I think is important is the California sex education curriculum that they're teaching young children. So...
Jesus.
You guys should check it out just for that, in case you didn't know we were going to talk about that. It's kind of important. It's the bullcrap that they're teaching kids.
It's our Thanksgiving episode.
And then somehow it goes there. Somehow it goes there.
I wish I had confetti.
So let's start this off.
Yeah. So we're going to start by talking about 2 television shows which have us enthralled, I would say. I would say we are totally, just wrapped up in these 2 shows.
They got me going.
Yeah. The first one is a little show called Watchmen on HBO. It's actually not on television. It's HBO. And this show is faithful to the comic book. They have stuck to the storyline that was in the comics, but what they've done with the show and the way they've delivered just surprise after surprise after surprise, I think is just really amazing. All the clues they left along the way, the fact that
Let's not try to spoil anything.
No, I won't spoil it, but Silk Spectre's, equipment that she brought along with her was a clue.
There's a lot of clues. There's a lot of clues.
Even if you haven't seen the show, you probably still won't understand what we're talking about, but they laid this trap for people where you were like, whoa, what is it? When are they going to do this? They did it the whole time. It was right under your nose the whole time. You fucking morons.
You swore and we weren't supposed to swear.
I'm sorry.
You thought that I would be the one.
Yeah, I thought you would be the one.
It was you. Well, now the dam is busted open.
Well, whatever. I'm going to. No. Because who knows? Maybe the YouTube algorithm won't know what I said. I said, there's a fork in the road.
That's what you said.
That we came to a fork in the road.
Yeah.
And
what do you think he said?
Yeah. What do you think I said?
Swear.
And could have gone this way. Could have gone that way. And I think they really did justice to both the comic book and the vision that the what was his name? Alan. I can't think of his name now, but
Alan Moore.
Alan Moore had. I really think that it has both like an emotional weight, and it is fairly topical in terms of obviously it's a comic book type story, so everything's going to be over the top, but I think there's something in there that's relevant to what's seething in our culture at the moment. But obviously, when you're doing a work of fiction, it's going to be over the top. And I think they really captured something with this show, because I have totally just, been in from like
Bought in.
episode 1.
Yeah, we're in. So I never really messed with the comic book. I was too young as a kid. It was like very adult, and the themes and everything they were talking about. So I never really got into it. I was into Marvel stuff, and so as they came out with the movie, and I liked the movie. I thought it was good, and I don't know how well it holds up, but it's still worth watching. And if you haven't seen the show, I would definitely suggest watching the movie, because the way that the events from the movie are definitely connected into the show in ways that you might not suspect. It's surprising. Like, I was like, oh man, this is this. Like, it was pretty cool how he weaved it all together. That's Damon Lindelof, who's running the show. And I've always been a fan of his, all the way back to Lost. J.J. Abrams could go somewhere else. But Lindelof is legit. And The Leftovers, what a show. And in that show, he brought us Regina King. And she is just knocking it out of the park. She was great in The Leftovers. She's pretty much been great in everything she's been in, but she never really had leading lady status, would you say?
Yeah, I would not say like to this degree. And
but she always had respect. She always was good.
But she's carrying the show on her back.
But she is just killing this show. Her character is awesome. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but she's great, and the writing, the acting, and the music. You know a show is good when the music is good.
The music is.
It's because people care.
Yeah, they care.
They want it to be as good
as
it can be in every possible way. And there is some stuff and themes, like you were saying, that it kind of pushes without spoiling anything. There's definitely racial issues in there.
It doesn't matter if we spoil it at this point, because the people who are going to be watching this who haven't seen the show probably won't care, but the people who are watching the show, I think that there is a level of, it's very subversive, just like the comic was. The comic was this whole point where nobody had superpowers. Nobody has superpowers except for the one character. Mm-hmm. The rest are regular people who are just dressing up and fighting crime, essentially.
And the point of it, too, is like, these people are not necessarily normal or good. Like, they're going out there and they're fighting crime, but you don't know what's going on in their lives. Exactly. And some of them people, they're not that good at people, even though they're on this crusade or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't like for race to constantly be pushed everywhere. I get it with the show. I do get it.
Well, there's a theme in the show, and the way they took the direction it went, it makes sense. It's not like it's forced upon.
Well, it's based off a real life event.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even know about, so that's what tells you what they tell us in the news.
In Tulsa, that whole area of town was destroyed, called the Black Wall Street, a very successful, vibrant black neighborhood. Essentially, all those people were run out of town. They wove this into this story, and then they proceeded to use the alternative history from Watchmen to basically give you, like, as far as I see it, a new vision from that point in time in the early teens and 20s up until this point in time, whatever it could be, 2019.
It's 2019.
Where you have an alternate history, and you have individual walking around who is essentially a god, right? So you have a god, and then you have the rest of humanity, and yet the way they did it, it's amazing.
It's great. It's outstanding. And don't misunderstand me. Obviously, I know that there's racism out there in the world, but my concern is to keep throwing it. Like, we're trying to move on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We're trying to get together as a society, and I don't like that it keeps harping on this. Although it was a true event that happened, and I understand it for the story, I just get a little tired of seeing racism everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Let's come together. But that's a whole nother issue, mostly concerning the media. Okay, but the show is outstanding, and I definitely recommend it. It's super good.
Yep.
And anything else, or are we going to the next show?
Yeah, we won't go any further because we're recording this before the final episode has come out. So I think we'll have more of a breakdown when that final episode comes out, and we'll discuss a little bit more, but I think we should move on.
I'll say this, though. There is a flashback episode, and I'm not going to say whatever, but usually to me, throughout most TV series, flashback episodes suck. And this flashback episode was friggin' awesome. Mm-hmm. Like, it was, like, so good, dude. So, yeah. Damon, hats off to Damon Lindelof. He's doing his thing. And, let's keep it moving.
Yeah, we'll talk about another phenomenon. Baby Yoda. There's a new show called Baby Yoda.
And he's in New York City, and he's trying to figure it out.
He's trying to figure out the world.
He wants to be a star.
He gets a job as an ad executive. His boss is a real biatch, and he's got to make it. And so what he does is he dresses up as a lady Yoda, and he goes in, and it's called Tootsie 2 Yoda Part 5.
The Jedi.
The Jedi returns to New York City to become a superstar secretly.
So yeah, it's pretty good.
I like that show. Now that we ought to write that show.
I wish that was a show. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Constantly using the Force power. Doesn't talk because it's only a baby.
Well, it's just a baby. What do you want from him?
But yeah, The Mandalorian. Mandalorian, excellent show. Excellent show. This is what, for the love of God, this is what the movie should have been. The movie should have been this good and this interesting and where you cared about these characters so much. How about we just take the movie and we just and then we put in The Mandalorian.
I have a question. How come they can't get the main movies right anymore?
Not at all.
All the other stuff around the movie is just so much better.
I didn't even like Solo, and yet Solo is better than the main movies.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I actually did like Solo. But Rogue One...
You know what? Can I tell you one thing? I think they went out to the street at some social justice warrior rally. They got together about 10 people, got them in a room. J.J. Abrams was like, make me a script. They wrote him a script. They put it there.
Make it politically correct as possible.
And they're like,
because that's what people love.
They give it to JJ. JJ's like, I can't make this. And then he hands it straight to Disney. And Disney's like, we love it. We're going to make it.
It's pronounced Disney.
It's going to be a thing. It's going to be a thing.
Disney.
Anyway.
Yeah.
The show is so good, and the movies are so bad.
Yeah, it's really
that. Yeah. No offense to the movies. I know they want an Asian character and a black character and a Slovarkian character and a Wookiee character and a Bajukian character and a Shmashmala character. I know they want everybody in there. That's fine, as long as your story is good.
But it seems like they're more focused on being politically correct than the story itself.
Than having the story.
Who cares? Write the story first, then cast it.
And then Luke.
It's like they cast it first.
Here's the whole thing. Luke, he's one of the last Jedis to pass on the tradition. He's learned all this. She shows up and he's like, he throws the freaking lightsaber over his shoulders like, whatever. I just studied this my whole life, and now I'm totally against it because apparently I saw a vision of my nephew becoming evil, so now I just gave up completely on the whole tradition of being a Jedi. This,
When the whole point is to battle the dark side. The dark side.
Oh my God. It's just so dumb.
So dumb. But The Mandalorian is pretty damn good.
It is. It's better than pretty damn good. It is damn good.
And you know what? This whole Baby Yoda thing, it's sweeping the nation. Everybody loves
Everybody's
Baby Yoda.
got a Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda's adorable.
You want a Baby Yoda.
I will say, I don't trust Baby Yoda.
That's why you can't trust Baby Yoda, because he's a little too adorable. He's too cute. The next Sith Lord. He's the next
Without a doubt.
right Sith Lord. Do you look into his eyes? Those puppy dog giant eyes.
You can't help but fall in love.
You love him. And that's how he does his
That's how he
evil
gets you.
deeds.
Yeah, so watch out for baby
Yeah,
Yoda.
yeah, because he's going to kill the Oh, I shouldn't have said... Oh, I gave away a big spoiler. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, in the last episode, Baby Yoda slaughters the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Just slices his head
Rips
off.
him apart with his force magic. Sorry for the spoiler.
Yeah, we shouldn't have done that. I love that little thing where he's trying to walk up to him and trying to heal his arm, and he keeps grabbing him and putting him back in his crib.
Everything Baby Yoda does is adorable.
Adorable! It's adorable.
And he can only be evil then.
I'm gonna heal you, Mr. And he's like, little baby, you can't heal me. Doesn't even know that the Baby Yoda's trying to heal him. Picks him up, casts him aside, but
check out The Mandalorian. It's better than the Star Wars movies.
it is so much better than the Star Wars. Please watch the show for us. Make us happy.
Watch our show first.
You can, watch this show, then watch that show, then come back, watch this show again, just so we get another view. We won't get another view because it's the same computer.
Yeah.
Go to a different computer. Sign on with a different name. And
Call an Uber. Call an Uber. Go throughout all the city. Tell your friends to do this. Everybody's driving around on different computers,
watching different
watching our show.
Yeah.
We're not trying to ask too much. We just
can you do this for us? God, we're here doing our part.
You see how hard we're working.
I'm actually getting hot in here because of the hot lights. All right, I think it's been 15 minutes. Has it been 15 minutes?
Oh, we're good
deep?
to go.
We're good to go with the swearing.
We're good to go.
Even though I blew it.
Yeah, you
like
blew it.
2 minutes in, I shot my load.
If you would have put money on who was going to blow it,
it would have been you.
Yeah.
It would have been you.
I'd be a rich man, right?
You'd be a rich man.
So let's do a movie review
of
The Irishman.
Yes, sir. The Irishman.
The Irishman.
Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese's back at it again. Another
Is
gangster.
it Martin Scorsese or is it Martin Scorsese?
Well, it's Disney, and then it's Martin Scorsese. You know it.
Well, if it's Disney, how is it Martin Scorsese? I don't get it.
Well, you don't have to.
Thank you.
Fine. So we don't want to spoil The Irishman, but
except it's all about Jimmy Hoffa and what happened.
Listen, it's a good movie, and I like the movie.
It's a decent movie. It's
it tells a
not
good
his
story.
best, but it's a good movie.
Here's the thing: clear your whole evening.
Yeah,
because
you're
it's
gonna
3.5 hours long, and my wife and I spent a whole evening watching it, and while the movie, I think that the story's good, and there's definitely a lot of good parts. The problem is, for me, is that De Niro is just so old.
He's old, and he's very monotonous in this part.
They're all old, and he's just kind of one note.
One note!
The whole time.
Well, Al Pacino's out there doing something. And Joe Pesci's like, hey, I'll do something different. I'll be a little smaller.
But also Joe Pesci's super old, and I don't know if he has the energy.
Maybe he doesn't have the energy, but that's the character. He's more of the wiser guy. He's playing the wiser. He can't do the back in the day it was like
I'll allow all of it.
Yeah.
It's just De Niro to me is like the problem.
Yes.
Like he just, and then with age regression, right? They show him he's like a young man.
Regression?
Is that what it is?
No. Age regression means you curl up and you put on a diaper and you lay in bed and you tell your wife, I'm a baby now and you're going to take care of me.
Well, he does do that in that one part.
Oh, yeah. I take it back. I take it back.
So that's what I was referring to. I don't know what. But they've tried to make him look younger.
CGI de-aging technology.
De-aging. Oh my God, I said the fucking... so they de-age him, but the problem is he's a young man.
Yeah.
But he's still got an old ass body.
He's got an old ass body, and they gotta like bulk him up, so he kind of looks like Frankenstein when he's walking. He's like he's like, whoa, I'm Robert De Niro over here, and I'm not old.
And then when he is like young, but then he's like tries to be like gullible, but it's like, bro, you're clearly 65 years old. You know about life. You shouldn't be making these.
You're not going to fall for this. You're not going to fall for this.
Be messing up
there's
like
no
this.
way. Yeah, sorry, but we don't buy it, Robert De Niro.
What they should have done is taken a younger guy
who kind of looks like De Niro.
Okay, they could have done that route. I'm just saying replace De Niro in that role. Take a younger guy, make him not too young, so that.
Well, you could have had two guys. You could have had him, older Robert De Niro, playing the older guy, and then the younger. Like, let's say from 50 and younger, you have one actor. From 50 and older, you have Robert De Niro. It's a simple proposition. You know what I mean?
I say just replace the guy, a whole role, give Robert De Niro another thing, because he needs to be in this, I guess. But I guess I could take splitting the.
Yeah, that's what Martin Scorsese has he's a very specific director. You know, he could like the first time I think it was on Raging Bull. He's like he comes in and he's like Joe, you gotta patch this up, and it's like and Joe's like what do you mean I gotta patch this up? What do you mean I gotta fucking patch this up? I gotta fucking patch this up. I can't fucking patch it. And then they just started rolling. They started rolling the camera, and it's like boom, and he became a superstar. You know?
Yeah, and every
right
time
there,
the take, you'd be like,
every time.
Patchy time,
you gotta patch this up. It's like, what the fuck you mean I gotta patch this up? I'm sick of patching this up. What am I fucking clown?
That's how we got every
That's how unbelievable. That's what makes Scorsese a genius. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you this: The Irishman, I do think is good. Definitely not his best, but there's just something about gangster movies. That is just like
Scorsese and gangster movies.
Gangster movies are like Goodfellas. I can't walk through a room with Goodfellas on without just sitting down and being brainwashed into watching those movies.
Well, because Scorsese.
Goodfellas is one of the best movies of all time.
Scorsese had the talent. He's like, he goes up to Robert De Niro. He's like, how much you acting? How much you like acting? He said, a little bit, a little bit.
You would do
pop the camera.
The impressions today. Very good.
A little bit.
But yeah, why do they put Goodfellas on regular cable though? It's like half the movie you don't hear.
Yeah. No.
Don't do that. You don't need to do that.
It's such a great movie, and there's so much great swearing.
The swearing
fits in the movie. It's like, you know how they sometimes...
Just like this podcast.
On regular television, they'll put on Schindler's List, and they'll have swearing and nudity and this, and it's like, well, this is how it was, folks. Well, it's the same way with this. It's like, yeah, they swore a lot. Just let it go.
They're gangsters, for God's
sake. They put on Schindler's List, showed you naked bodies being put into gas chambers and murdered. Cool. But hearing the word fuck and hearing shit and cunks in here, you can't do that. Can't do that. No, that's gonna hurt.
Everybody will lose their mind.
Oh my god. You see a nipple? If you see a nipple, the American public is just gonna explode.
Everybody's head will explode.
Wow.
Some reason, I think that scenes in movies where, like, when somebody who gets into it with the mob and he doesn't have the money, they're not gonna kill him, but they're gonna rough him up, That is comedic gold to me, dude. When they just get in, they start choking them and hit them in the head with a phone. I can't.
That's funny.
Laugh, dude. Even Ray Liotta in Goodfellas, right? Wasn't De Niro choking the white guy?
Yeah.
And he was on the phone, literally laughing. He was strangling him with the
Because it is funny.
It's hilarious. You got in with the mob. You can't pay your debt. They're gonna beat your ass, and it's so funny.
That's odd. That reminds me of another story. Scorsese. Talking to Pacino. Like Pacino. Yeah, that's what he said. He's like Pacino. I like what you're doing. What sound does a train make? Hoo-ah! 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 Boom. Nailed it. Nailed that scene. Hoo-ah! Whoa! Whoa! Let me tell you.
Now you're getting carried away.
I'm telling you, that's Scorsese at his best.
That said,
What?
I do have...
What?
I don't know what that was.
I don't know what that was.
I do have a bit of a bone to pick.
What's that?
With Marty.
McFly?
No, Marty Scorsese.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. In the just recent past, he took a dig at Marvel movies. He said that they weren't real cinema.
What?
And that their movies are not movies, they're more like amusement park rides.
What?
Settle down.
Sorry. God. Whoa.
And the thing about it is, it's like, alright, dude, you're kind of being a crank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You're kind of being an old man. So.
Don't be ageist.
Yeah. Well, I was about to say, what is it? Relax boomer or chill boomer? What's the?
I have no idea.
It's a thing people say.
No one's ever said that.
Cool.
The thing is, he's shitting on Marvel movies, but like, they're a comic book company.
Yeah.
And what they wanted to do was make movies. So what do you think those movies are going to be about? Probably comic books. Okay? So they're comic book movies. And it just so happened that, especially with Marvel, people love the shit. I love the shit. I'm a Marvel boy. I'll admit it. You like some, you don't like some, fine. They're just wildly popular, and he's just mad about it. He's just sitting at home pissed about it. Like, dude, they're a comic book company. Yeah, they're gonna make comic book movies. People love it. You take real life stories and make movies about gangsters.
Yeah, he's got a
what the
gangster
fuck's the
fetish.
difference?
He's got a gangster fetish.
What's the difference?
Listen, if he didn't have a
He's
gangster
successful
fetish,
at what he's doing. Marvel's doing their thing. They're not like, Scorsese with another fucking
gangster movie.
Yeah, do another one, Scorsese. But it's like, dude, you're just being a crank. Shame on you, Marty.
Yeah, shame on you.
You know you messed up there.
Yeah.
But, Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, good movie.
Ridiculous.
You know who told me that story? That story?
Who?
Mark Ruffalo told me that story. He was filming The Incredible Hulk. He's like, hey, Mark, come here.
Yeah.
And
You know that Mark Ruffalo was not in The Incredible Hulk? You jackass. That was Ed Norton.
Damn it. I thought I had you for a second. You're good. Damn it.
I'm good at what I do. But comic book movies is just another genre, right? Like westerns, horror movies. Is Hereditary not cinema? Is The Shining not cinema? That's just their thing. Comic book movies is a new
The Room not
movie
cinema?
genre. The Room actually is.
The greatest movie ever made. Hands down.
So, that's crazy. You just brought that up out of the blue.
I did not hear her.
There's a movie called The Room, if you don't know. And
hi, Mark.
And it's the world's worst movie. However,
It's the world's best movie simultaneously.
you're not going to understand it till you watch it. And what you have to do is watch it about 3 times. Because the first time I watched
It's like, what?
I was like, this is so bad, it's hilarious. And then the second time I watched it, I was like, man, this is like
Really bad.
I'm like, was he trying to be this funny?
Mm-hmm.
And then by the third time, I was like, I think this dude's a fucking genius. Like, we're the idiots.
He filmed that movie in film and in fucking digital because he knew he was creating a friggin' masterpiece.
Dude, you are so loud. But I'm right here.
I was that certain.
I know that they're out there, but they have the
They
volume
can't hear
up.
me.
They have to turn the volume down.
Hear me.
Because of you. But yeah, check out The Room. I didn't even know that was going to come up.
That is a great movie.
It's so funny. I am not even kidding when I tell you I started to think that he's a genius.
It might be the greatest worst movie that you will ever not want to ever.
It'll
not
break your
see.
brain. There are parts that don't even connect. And like, your brain won't understand what you're seeing the first
I didn't
times.
even want to marry my first husband. I got cancer. How are you doing?
Oh, hi, Mark. It's just so randomly weird.
Random lines.
They're throwing around the football and they're all wearing tuxedos, but they don't go anywhere. It just goes to the next scene.
Why are they in an alien tuxedos playing football?
And they're like 2 feet away from each other. They don't go to a wedding or any kind of anything. Fuck that movie, dude. Check that.
It's so good. It's so good. It's seriously, if you tried to make that movie, you couldn't.
No
You
one
couldn't make
can
that
match
movie.
what that movie was.
They
Even
made a
if you
movie
tried.
about that movie.
Yeah. James
That's how good that movie is.
And that movie's not bad either. What was that
yeah.
one? I forgot what that was called.
Sorry, I'm yelling, but I love it.
So much yelling.
Sorry. All right. We'll take it.
So, anyways, The Irishman, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long time, but it is a little awkward to see De Niro trying to be tough. When
he's
85 years old.
He's fine playing the older character in that movie, but when he's playing the young guy trying to beat somebody up,
it looks so bad.
It doesn't look good.
No.
The man is almost 80 years old, I think, right?
They're all in their 70s, like
early, like late 70s, not early.
Yeah, but like, what was I gonna say? He doesn't have that like De Niro moment, you know. Even when like he is kind of like
the De Niro moment in Goodfellas. What's the De Niro moment in Goodfellas? You know the De Niro moment in Goodfellas?
For me, it's when he starts banging the phone off the fucking thing.
No. The De Niro moment.
He's hanging the phone up when he's
in Goodfellas for me is when what's his name's talking real loud and he's smoking that cigarette. And he's looking at him, and he's thinking about whether he should kill him or not. And that music's playing in the background, and you see him, and it keeps cutting a shot of him just like looking. Just looking with that cigarette, and it's like, I'm gonna fucking kill. He's not saying a word. He doesn't say a word. His expression doesn't change, but you know what's going on in his head. And I will tell you that Robert De Niro might not be the greatest actor in the world, but Robert De Niro is up there with the great film actors because somehow you know what's going on in his mind just through the way his eyes move, and even when his facial expression is stoic, you know that there's something going on. You know that the gears are turning. And that's not easy to do in film. Film is such a, it's such a small, like when you're doing like a real acting scene, like in theater, you have to be a little bit bigger. You have to speak a little bit louder. You have to, when you're doing like an acting scene in a movie, you can basically whisper because the camera's right there. And De Niro like perfected that, where he's like, sometimes he can whisper and he still grabs. You know what I mean? There's something about him.
Well, he was a powerful actor. I just feel like when he started doing these crappy comedies, like he didn't have the same menace to him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, he was good at Meet the Parents.
He was good at Meet the Parents, and then that was it, as far as comedy goes. Analyze this and that. Those are good to you?
I like Analyze This. I don't like Analyze That. Here, can I tell you a quick story? Nobody knows this story. This is a story only me and the guy who did this knows. Nobody else in Hollywood knows this
exclusive.
Story. It's a Hollywood exclusive. And I'm going to give it to you. Alright, so here's what happened. There's this guy. He's got a script. Can't sell the script. He's like, well, I know what I'll do. I'll sell this script. I'll change it a little bit. He's like, hey, you got a gangster. Gangster's a little upset. So, he goes to a therapist. Right? He goes to a therapist. He's doing his gangster stuff. It's like, what the heck? The therapist is like, I can't believe this gangster stuff. It's like, it's a hilarious comedy. And then he's like, you know what? How about I make twice as much money? Goes over to HBO. He's like, yeah, it's about a gangster. And he can't take the stress. So he goes to see a therapist. We're going to call it The Sopranos. I made double the money on that. Dude, that was the best Hollywood move ever. Not a lot of people know that.
He doubled down.
Doubled down. Made a comedy, made a drama. Now he's sitting pretty.
And if you compare the one to the other,
yeah, they're equal.
It's like you don't know which one you're watching. You can put on any scene, you don't know if it's in the,
yeah, it's like,
Analyze
what? Yeah, is this Analyze
Sopranos.
This or is this The Sopranos? I can't tell the difference. But yeah, that was.
It's good.
Not a lot of people know that. That's what we call a Hollywood exclusive.
There you go.
There we go.
We bring some information.
Yeah.
in this.
And you learn.
podcast.
You learn here. You learn. You go out into the world. You tell people this story. They're like, no, that's not true. That can't be real. And then you're like, yeah, we saw it in this podcast, so it's gotta be true. I saw it on the internet.
That's how I roll.
Yeah, that's how you should roll too.
All right, so Irishman, thumbs up.
Irishman, thumbs up. It's kind of like a woo. It's yeah.
I just miss like old Joe Pesci of old. You know.
We couldn't play that
I
character.
know, it would have killed him.
No, it couldn't.
It would have killed him.
A heart attack.
Let's stop yelling.
Here's the thing. Not a lot of people know. Joe Pesci tried to kill his ex-wife's...
No. Oh, yeah.
Don't tell me no.
She is the one.
Alright, so Joe Pesci had an ex-wife. His ex-wife got remarried.
When
she
was
didn't
this?
like this friggin' prick.
When
I don't
was
know,
this?
somewhere in the 80s. Late 80s. And she's like, hey, Joe...
Right around the time
Yeah.
of Goodfellas.
She's like, hey, Joe, I got a problem with this guy. He's like, I know what I do. I got fucking... And then he calls some mobster. Mobster comes and tries to murder this guy. Fails. Right? Fucks the whole thing up. So, she's back on the phone. Hey, Joe, he's still alive and he's still driving me bananas. And Joe's like, I got it. And then he calls again. He's like, we gotta do this murder. And this time we gotta do it right.
Pesci style.
Pesci style. Hangs up the phone.
Mm.
The guy goes right to the cops. He's like, Joe Pesci, he fucking paid me to murder. Well, not exactly like that, but sort of like that. And Joe Pesci's like, hey, I don't know, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Goes into court. He's like, hey, my cousin Vinny. Judge lets him off. Just like that. Brings up my cousin Vinny. Walks away scot-free.
Dismissed.
That is a true Hollywood exclusive.
Another one.
Not a lot of people know that. About 3% of what I said was actually true. The other 97%?
The basic story.
The
of what
basic
you said
story,
is true.
yeah, there's a little bit, there's a kernel of truth in there.
Surprisingly,
He had an
that's
ex-wife who tried to fucking get a hitman to kill her husband twice.
Joe Pesci helped
Joe
her out.
Pesci was involved. He tried to pay for the hitman. He bailed her out of jail.
It's great. But he used to be around.
Joe Pesci,
Like,
please don't come and kill me.
he used to be around mobsters and shit, like for real.
Well, because he wanted to be a lounge singer.
Wanted to sing.
His only fucking dream was to be a goddamn lounge singer. He didn't want to be an actor. He didn't want to be a whatever. He wanted to be a lounge singer. He's got albums. Like, whoa, he's singing in a lounge. He's doing his thing, right? He's singing with the guy who's in Goodfellas and in The Sopranos. The New York guy. He has an album with him. They sang together. And this is his thing. He's like, hey, I'm going to be a famous singer. And
Scorsese's like, no,
Scorsese's like,
you gotta
no,
Pesci it up.
You gotta Pesci it up. Well, what do you fucking mean?
And then he was like, action.
Go, roll.
And that rest was Hollywood history.
Hollywood history.
I'll say this because I feel like we should close soon on this, but dude, there's just something so awesome about being a gangster. And I'm not promoting this kind of shit. It's actually horrific. But the way they were running shit in the 50s, you go into a restaurant, you go back in, everything's
everybody
cool.
loves you.
They made sure they took care of people. Yeah, they fucking murdered people. But there was like a code to it until it all fell apart.
All fell apart because everybody fucking ratting everybody out.
And if you were like a younger guy and you were exposed to it, of course you're going to join.
Well, here's what people
but the
don't
problem
realize.
is,
yeah, go ahead.
you're going to end up with 2 bullets in the back of your head, and that's like a best case scenario.
Sure.
Like barely anybody makes it out of that shit. But I don't know, man.
Well, here's the thing that I want.
It's just romantic.
Okay, it's
cool.
very romantic up until the time you realize that these are criminal
Hardened
assholes
criminals
who murder each other for sometimes small amounts of money. So, like in the movies, they show you the boss. He's like, hey, he's got his guys and he's da-da-da. They don't show you the guy in the street who every day he's got to think of a plan to come up with money that he's got to kick up. Every fucking day he wakes up, he's got to do whatever it takes to kick up that quote-unquote vig to his boss.
Or what will happen if you don't?
If you don't, you're not going to get murdered. It's like, oh, they're going to murder you. They're not going to murder you because then they won't get any money. But they will come and beat the fuck out of you.
Beat your ass.
And you're like, hey, I don't want to constantly get beaten. So I'm probably going to give them the money. Late. And then you figure out, oh, I got this scheme, I got that scheme. And there's a lot of people who made a lot of money. You know what I mean? This, what's his name? Francis, who's talking all over the, news now. He's everywhere. He had the scheme with the gas stations in New York City where they didn't pay the taxes. And he was making $2 million, like a month. Not paying taxes on gasoline from a few gas stations. Well, not a few, but a bunch. And now he's like in the news and he's popular and everybody wants to, because, you know why? Because it was romanticized by you, Martin Scorsese. You mother. It was made to be like, whoa, look at this guy. No, he was beating people. If you didn't want to like not pay and go in on his scheme, you think they came in like, could you please sign up for this friend? No, they're like, fuck you. And Martin's like, that's the kind of stuff that America needs. And
he romanticized it and he made it all this, but he's got a problem with comic book movies.
Yeah, he's got a problem with comic. And people are murdering each other in the streets in Chicago. Oh God, that's so terrible. It's gonna be fodder. It's gonna be fodder in 20 years. This is gonna be like what movies are about. You know what I mean? Oh my God, it's when you have a commodity that's illegal, say alcohol, which made the mafia. Alcohol made the mafia.
Kennedys.
It made the Kennedys, for Christ's sake. Now you have narcotics, which is making...
Clintons.
The Clintons, it's making a lot of money for a lot of people. All these banks that get all this dark money coming in.
CIA, baby.
Oh my God, and everyone knows it. Everyone knows that it's happening. And everyone knows that this money is getting funneled up to the people at the top, but they don't say anything because they have this holier-than-thou attitude because they're getting part of this big pie. They're getting a small slice, but as long as they're getting a slice, they don't give a shit. Do you really think they care about people who have a drug addiction? Do you think they really care about people who have mental disorders? No. It's all about making profit. That is the American way. It was from slavery. Oh, we got rid of slaves. Okay, so we'll use workers. We'll just pay them dirt. And we'll still be rich. It's... Oh my God.
What I have to say again, it's what the people at the top, the goddamn elites, they're the ones that do this shit.
No, I agree with you.
So I get very pissed when it's tied in with like America, like good-hearted Americans are fucking signing off on this shit. No, man. Everybody is under these fucking dark arts motherfuckers. That's what it is. Okay, they're the ones
because they separate us. They separate us.
Why do you think that the cartels really aren't stopped? Because they're working with the CIA.
Yeah, because they make money. And they move stuff around. They move money around, drugs around, guns around. Listen,
so when you talk about Mexicans who want to get out of there...
Yeah. And it's like, oh, these illegals coming in. Well, yeah. They're coming in for a reason.
They're fucking scared. They don't want to be a cartel victim. So it's all top-level shit.
Yeah.
Don't want to associate any of that with American people.
Yeah.
Okay? There's a difference between American people and the fucking elites.
Do I have any red shit on my face?
No. So I'm just gonna go.
Alright, so let's say action.
You were a little too close. This isn't for the cameras. You want me to say it?
Yeah!
You always say it, that's all I'm saying.
Go! Do this thing!
All right.
Make it work!
And action. Alright, so moving on to the next topic. But also, speaking of gangsters, it seems that the Clintons have somehow, coincidentally, become connected to yet another political scandal. Can you believe that? All these coincidences involving them?
Well,
it's crazy.
Can I say something though?
Please do.
Okay, here's my thing. See, you say you don't want to talk about politics, and yet you keep bringing up the Clintons. When I bring up Donald Trump and his family, you say, well, let's not get political, blah, 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 blah. Not that you're some fan of Trump. Don't get me wrong. I'm not implying that. But, you know what I mean? It seems to me like it's a little bit of a double standard when I have valid things to say about, I think we would agree. And this is the thing that I saw very recently that blew my mind. Nancy Pelosi said that she was willing to impeach Trump because he asked Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden in return for getting, ammunition, money for or basically it was just weapons. They said it was an amount of money, but it was directly going to be weapons and aid for their war with Russia. She said that was impeachable. When she was asked the question why she didn't impeach George Bush, she said she didn't think that was an impeachable offense. But here's what people don't know. Most people don't know. She was part of what is called the Gang of Four. The Gang of Four were the top House representatives who got intelligence information and who were told point blank to their face that Saddam Hussein had no weapons, 0 weapons, none of mass destruction. And yet, that was the story we were told, and that was the reason we were told we were going into Iraq.
It's a lie.
It was a straight-up lie. Not a, oh, we got it wrong, or not, oh, we thought maybe. No, it was just a straight-up lie. They went into Iraq. They fought an illegal offensive war. It was an offensive war. It wasn't defensive. Iraq didn't come and attack us. It was Saudi Arabia, if anything, right? They were all Saudis, but my point being that Nancy Pelosi apparently didn't think that this was impeachable. A president lying to our faces and getting us into a war where over 150,000 civilians died.
Well, listen. This is what I'm saying. I don't want to push politics. I think it's kind of clear at this point that, you have leaned towards the liberal side of things, and that I lean toward the conservative side of things.
Okay.
Okay?
But I think we both have... Yeah.
I have nothing to do with politics.
But I think we both have...
nothing to do with it.
But I think we both can agree on, certain realities and the fact that our government just constantly lies to us.
Yeah.
And constantly does fucking backstabbing, twisted bullshit.
So now you have George Bush, who was greenlighting that thing and wanting to go into this war under false pretenses, right? But not only that, he was actively trying to stop gay marriage.
Yes.
And there you got Ellen DeGeneres, hemming and hawing, laughing it up in the fucking... in the booth at the Cowboys game. Okay? And then she has the nerve to go on and be like, I'm friends with people that I don't agree with politically. I don't always agree with this person or that person, but we're still friends. Well, the problem, Ellen, is that he was actively trying to oppress your freedom.
Yes.
To be you.
Exactly.
So, yeah, sure, man. I don't care. I don't care if it's left or right. I just call it out.
Yeah, no,
like
I agree.
Fucking see it. And it just so happened that this story broke last week involving the Clintons, so I'm gonna bring it up.
Well, here's.
I got no problem slamming Trump.
I'm gonna let you talk after this freely. But here's my point, and this is why I think the point you just made is why I agree. If let's say you had a relative let's say your mother, or let's say somebody real close to you, needed some sort of a procedure, right? A medical procedure. And you didn't have the insurance, or you didn't have the money, you didn't have the right insurance, you didn't have the money, and she was essentially going to die because you weren't covered, they couldn't do the procedure. And then you were seen sitting with the person who cast the deciding vote down for giving everybody health care, everybody access to health care. Your mother dies, and then you go to the, whatever ball game, and then you're, seeing, talking with them like, you voted against, my mom died because of that crazy vote you made. Oh, we're the same kinda, All right, go ahead.
Well, there's a difference between...
But you know what I mean there.
Yeah. I mean, that's... We disagree all the time.
Sure.
But I didn't actively try to ruin your life.
No, exactly.
Exactly.
And we agree on most of the concrete, points.
Sure.
Like, most of the points that, even that I bring up, or you bring up, usually we agree. Usually we agree.
Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, dude. Like, the Bushes, Prescott Bush was a goddamn Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's a Republican. He was a fucking Nazi. I have no problem calling out whoever needs to be called out.
Okay.
Right? It just so happens that the Clintons are kind of really, really shitty.
They're really shitty. And do you think, have I ever been pro? You say I'm like a liberal, but have I ever been pro like Clinton? I specifically said that I hated Clinton and that she stole.
They're both
fucking both of them are pieces of shit.
Yeah, I know.
But her kind of, especially because she wanted this, she was like, the good wife who I'm standing by my man. She wasn't, that is not her personality. She did that strictly for political reasons, because deep down, she wanted to leave this freaking guy, not because he was, and not because of the infidelity, because she doesn't care. She probably F's whoever she wants, he F's whoever he wants. But that's not, it's to make it look, it's the appearance. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
That's what all of it is. It's all fucking...
a show!
It's all pro wrestling. It's all nonsense. Alright? So that's why I don't want to talk about politics. God damn it. Alright. But certain people just...
Alright, let her go.
When I hear a goddamn story, it's gotta be told. Alright, so... the Clintons just happen to be connected to this story again. A man by the name of George Nader. Last week he got brought up on charges for funneling money to Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign, $3.5 million, right? So he's trying to get her elected. He was connected to some, I forget who, but I'm just focusing on this guy for a particular reason, and I'll look more into the other people involved.
Sure.
But they were trying to get Hillary to win, right? So, but the thing about it is, when he got charged, he was already in jail. Now, as a coincidence, can you guess this guy who's connected to the Clintons, he's in the pool with Bill Clinton, arm in arm, fucking around. Can you guess what he was arrested for?
I'm going to probably guess something to do with harassment, sexual, child, or female, or either sexual harassment or child endangerment, pedophilia. I would guess.
Oh, that's the one. They're just really unlucky in who they pick to associate with. These
yeah, no, it's unlucky. It's bad luck. It's not like they're associating with specific people.
It's not like they know that they're surrounded by pedophiles all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy, George Nader, he was already in jail because he was arrested on child pornography charges in June, after officials had searched his cell phone and images of boys as young as 3 being sexually exploited, and I don't want to...
Wait, you are reading this from the New York Post. This is not the Washington, right?
This is NBC News.
I thought you said it was the Washington Post.
Everybody's reporting on this shit.
All right,
but they don't put it on. They don't put it on the news that I fucking have ever seen.
Okay.
This is the new NBC News,
Yeah.
the Washington Post, and then...
Well, the New York Post. The New York Post is more like a tabloid.
New York Post. So, he was... You took away the goddamn thing that I was trying to read.
All right. Go ahead.
Well, give me it. So
Fucker.
Alright. So...
No, read it.
He was trying to do the 3.5, but I'm focusing in on the fact that the guy was arrested for images of boys as young as 3 being sexually exploited, and there was bestiality involved.
So read it. Well, like chickens or whatever.
There's 2 different stories. I don't want them. And then a month later, the feds also charged him with having knowingly transported a 14-year-old boy from Europe to Washington Dulles Airport.
That is insane.
February 2000, and then allegedly engaging in sexual acts with that child at his home. And then the other stuff about him.
Okay, here's the New York Post.
Yeah, here's the New York Post. He was arrested in '85 for allegedly importing child pornography into the U.S. from the Netherlands, but he beat the rap on a technicality. And in the the Washington Post article said they fucked up the, God damn it, when they go in your house. The warrant. Not the warrant.
Yeah,
the warrant.
Or a subpoena or whatever it is.
And then he pleaded guilty to possessing child pornography in '91, but he got a reduced sentence of just 6 months in jail. And
From what?
And had the case file sealed for helping to free American hostages who were being held in Lebanon.
Unbelievable.
And that is from the Washington Post. Oh, and also a little just side note, he was also convicted of sexually abusing minors in the Czech Republic, but he just got 1 year in jail in 2003. And those are all very vague. You know what I'm saying?
That's so insane.
So what I'm saying is, there is a goddamn problem with this Clinton pedophilia, bullshit, corruption, all this shit keeps going around. This whole thing with Epstein and his island, everybody knows about this shit. People know that Bill Clinton himself was on the flight 26 times where they were smuggling in girls and boys that they don't report about.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the victims, one of the accusers, said that Bill Clinton didn't want anything to do with the girls. He wanted to be with the young boys.
Mm-hmm.
That's just from her. And so, coincidence. You know what I'm saying? It's just a goddamn coincidence, and it's a shame that good people like Hillary and Bill Clinton have to keep being friends with pedophiles.
Well,
they just don't know, I guess.
But here's the thing. Can I make the same point? So here's the thing. Usually where there's smoke, there's fire. So we constantly see that the Clintons are involved with shady people. Just like you talk about, bring up our guy Trump. You know, Trump's lawyer, campaign manager, his whatever it was, communications director, go to jail.
By the way, they say Trump went to the island too.
He did. They were all friends. Mm-hmm. It's like, see, here's the thing. You know, Trump boasted about how the Clintons came to his wedding. Okay? That was like a big thing for him because they were all
Everybody
friends.
forgot that the Clintons and Trump were actually friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He gave money to them because, see, people think it's like, oh, well, you know, I have my principles and I'm sticking to my principle. No. It's about who's going to make you the money. Who's going to make your life easier. Who's going to make,
It doesn't matter the goddamn political party.
No, it doesn't matter at all.
I will
That's an illusion.
report on whatever is the bullshit.
But, you know, we both agree on that. It's all just, it's like a, you know, it's the person. It is not the group. You know what I mean? If you're like, oh, well, this person belongs to this group, then this group must be good. No. That is never, ever, ever, ever the case. And that is the definition of bigotry, racism, prejudice, everything. If you think this one person is good and then you say that everyone part of that group is good, then you are being...
You got blinders on.
Yeah. It's that is prejudice. That is how you decide that, okay, well, this group is good and this group is bad. This is what is the definition of stereotyping. The last thing I want to talk about, and that's very important to me, it's something, like literally important to me, is healthcare.
We'll talk about Hillary on Howard Stern.
Oh, well, before I go on to that.
Let's just bridge it. Let's bridge it from the Clintons to...
So Hillary was on Howard Stern, and they were making jokes and laughing it up about the fact that we in this country don't have universal health care, and that universal health care is some sort of a pipe dream. The richest country, not in the world, but in the history of the world, can't provide medical care to its citizens, apparently.
Won't.
We can't provide affordable medication.
You keep saying we.
To our citizens.
They.
Apparently.
Not
I understand,
we.
but listen, that's the
terminology
that's the whole
is important, dude.
There was a bill that's coming up. It's coming up soon. And it's going to be defeated in the Senate, which would give rights to Medicaid to arbitrate and to bring down prices for medication. Something that the rest of the world does. But here in the United States, we don't do that.
They don't let us do it.
Yeah, they don't let us do that because they are our chosen representatives and they decide. Okay? They say, oh no, the private system will do what's best. Except that the private system is what is currently in effect, and it is what currently everybody in the because what they do is they basically let them charge whatever they want, and then those representatives and senators get huge donations. This is a system of bribery. I don't understand that it's like I'm living in a waking nightmare, that people don't understand that the system that we have, where you have donations by huge corporations, should be illegal. That is bribery. And Hillary Clinton was laughing it up about, oh, yeah, we'll just give everybody health care. Yeah, we'll just give everybody an education.
Do you know what else she was laughing it up about?
What?
When they killed Muammar Gaddafi.
Yes.
And they tortured him, and they put knives and swords up his
balls
ass.
And
Yeah, and then she was like, we came, we saw, we killed, there's some shit. And she's like, ha 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 ha. And then by killing him, that led directly to free market slave trade.
There are so many horrible things that happen. There are so many god-awful things that have happened. And, one of the worst things is slavery. And people think that slavery no longer exists because they think it's almost 2020. Well, slavery doesn't exist. Well, this doesn't. No. All of it exists. All of it is still out there. If we're not vigilant, if we are not constantly aware of the situation around us, and if we just give into the fact that, we'll watch this YouTube show or we'll watch that, thing on Twitter or whatever, we're doing our... No, you're not doing your part. You actually have to do something about it. Whether it's talking to your representatives, whether it's voting, whether it's running for office. Actually, the best thing would be to run for office.
Why?
Or would be... What do you mean, why? Because
do
that's
you
how
think
you
that
affect
somebody
change.
with true intentions is going to run for office and actually get into a position where they can actually make a difference? You really think that?
I do think so.
You think that?
I think so.
All the way to the top?
Maybe not to the top.
Definitely not to the top.
But I think that you can affect change. Because if you can't affect change...
On a local level at best.
If you can't affect change, then there would still be slavery. There would still be no gay marriage. There would still be... All of this stuff would still not have happened. If you can't affect change, if you think there's no chance, then you would agree that none of those things have happened. But those things have happened. So there is still the glimmer. I'm not saying that it's easy, and I'm not saying it's going to be like, you walk in there and you'll be like, hey, everybody, let's do the right thing. And they're going to they're gonna laugh in your face. They're gonna laugh in your fucking face. But
the only reason
that's the thing you have to do.
The only reason why those things have actually changed is because there's enough of an uproar from the American citizens to actually try and change it. Just like slavery, just like equal rights, just like gay marriage, all those things, right? Enough people were like, fuck this shit. Let's make it happen, right? But nobody cares about the kids that go missing. 800,000 a year in this country alone. Nobody gives a shit about that. I don't understand.
Well, well, why would you think that's weird when we don't care about sick, not just children,
and that's
but
what
people.
I'm saying.
We don't care about our sick citizens. You don't have health care?
There are still problems that need to be dealt with. If you're born in this country, you didn't ask to be born.
You didn't ask to be born. You didn't ask for anything. But you should have the basics.
Certain basics: food, shelter, healthcare. Just that's it. Done. Education.
Yeah.
Those four.
You don't give somebody. Oh, you don't give them like a mansion and be in a Ferrari and like, well, this no. But you provide them with basic stuff so that they can do better, because we're not living on the plains of Africa, okay? Where we're hunting and we're living in huts. We have cameras, we have MRI machines, we have planes, we have so much stuff that makes our life easier and that makes so much more time for leisure, that we should be able to provide so much more for our citizens. But instead, what we do is we funnel all of that good stuff to the top. We do.
Damn it.
No, we do. Who do you think your taxes go to?
Did I sign up and be like, hey, I want to pay taxes. I want to fucking.
But you are paying them.
I want to drive through the street and have a red light camera fucking take my picture, or a speeding camera. I didn't put that shit up.
Yeah, but don't tell me it's not we, because you pay. You pay.
What happens if I don't? What happens if I don't?
You face a penalty.
Exactly.
Exactly
right. What the fuck you want me to do?
Well, what I want you to do.
You're saying we, like I'm the one that was like, yeah, it's cool that we fucking pay these taxes when all our streets in Chicago are shitty. No, I didn't have nothing to do with that. Fix the shit.
Can you explain something to me? How come streets in Europe, in a country like Poland, where, I have a lot of family.
Your homeland.
Yeah, where I have a lot of family. I have a lot of family there. The streets are beautiful. It's like practically a third world country, and all the streets are lovely and new, and they look great. And here we are in the United States of America, richest country in the history of the world, and potholes everywhere. And our cars, it's so disgusting because everybody takes a little bit. What you don't realize is when you pay for something, when there's a government program, there's somebody there who's fucking just grabbing that money. They're pulling it in to themselves because they know the loopholes. They know how to game the system. Why is Trump so rich? Is it because he's a genius and he has such a vast knowledge of politics and economics and the way the world works, and he's just so clever and he's so good looking and no, it's because he had money and he had the right people to put him in the right place and to do the right things, because all they want is money and power. And we will never have a healthcare system that provides for all of us if we don't have the balls to do something about it. And the healthcare system we have now, that Some More News, I watched this program on YouTube called Some More News. They were talking about something that really hit home. It was stories about people.
Put a link down.
I will put a link down. It was stories about people who were sick, and then their fellow, co-workers, their people that they worked with. Well, but it wasn't just that, but yeah, a teacher got sick with cancer, and he had no more sick days. So other people gave him sick days, so he didn't have to go without his medical care and money to live. Okay, and they were making, oh, isn't that so nice? That's so nice. Oh, people are giving, they're just giving him their sick days. Well, what if they need those sick days? Why the hell doesn't he get as many sick days as he needs? He has cancer. It's not like he's, oh, whatever, I'm lazy, I'm just not. No, but that's the way the system's set up. There's what a child had, I forgot what it was, but he set up a lemonade stand because he had like muscular dystrophy or something, and he needed some money, so they set up a lemonade. Oh, isn't that the American way? That's the American way. Oh my God, I'm so proud of him. He's selling lemonade to get himself medical care.
But what you're talking about is the media. The media that tells us what we need to know.
Exactly.
And what they do is they spin it in a way
Yes.
where they take a fucking fucked up story,
A sick, disgusting story.
and make it be like, oh, look at the human condition because this is what I'm talking about. Yes, people gave up their fucking sick days because we are the people of America.
Yes.
We help each other out.
And we didn't demand.
We help each other out.
Yeah, but we
you know
didn't
who's
demand.
not a part of that? The
What?
fucking media. They're part of the goddamn elite machine.
Yes, they are.
They push this story and make it all feel goody and fucking puppies
sweet.
and
Baby
rainbows.
Yoda. Baby Yoda got a tummy
Baby
ache.
Yoda's out there and selling pieces of candy
But that's what it
for
is.
his ear reduction.
Yeah.
And so what they don't say is like, hey, isn't this fucked up that like this?
Then he's gotta sell this goddamn candy for his ear reduction.
He's gotta go to work.
He's a baby.
No, they're just like, isn't it so cute? That this is happening? So it's all media manipulation. It's all,
He walks out onto the stage and they're like, oh, isn't it wonderful? He's like, my ears are too big. And everybody's like, isn't that cute? Ah. He's like, no, seriously, it's a condition. They're gonna get gangrene and then I'm gonna die. And it's
Every
like,
time the wind blows, it hurts.
It hurts.
So, I mean,
yeah.
man, but then again, too, it's like, yeah, we can say Trump is that way, but dude, there's so many more people.
Of course.
And not even the people that we know about. Because the real people who have the wealth, we don't know shit about.
No.
And they're the problem, dude.
Well, it's like, let's say Putin. Putin, on paper.
Is it pronounced Putin?
Putin.
No, Putin.
Putin, on paper, has a couple million. Putin, in reality, is one of probably the top 5 richest people in the world. He's like a Jeff Bezos. He probably has close to $100 billion in assets.
But who owns more land than anybody?
The Catholic Church.
The Queen.
Well, the Catholic Church owns a lot too.
Yeah, and we all know that they're good.
The Catholic Church.
It's not, and we definitely know that the Queen is not a lizard.
We know the Queen's not a lizard, for the love of fuck. God, sometimes.
That's what I said. She's not a lizard.
I know!
So why are we yelling?
I don't know! Alright, well this was another episode where I guess
devolves
into yelling! But we have solved a few problems. We've done nothing.
Well, we present the information and hopefully
at
people
least that's
think,
something. Please think, people.
My thing
please.
is this. You call out people and you're like, you don't have balls.
Yeah.
Get out there and do some shit.
I still haven't done
anything. You don't do shit, motherfucker. I don't do shit. But here's the thing, though. Know about it. Know about it. Know what's going on. Know we're being bamboozled. Know about kids fucking disappearing. Know about how they screw us every which way they can. At least know about it.
At least
G.I. Joe said, knowing is half the battle.
It's true. No, I will admit, I don't go out and do the rap.
But you want to yell at the good fans.
Listen, no, wait, because I have written our senators, I have written our Congress people
Where'd
about
it go?
things. I don't know.
I'll tell you where. Right in the garbage.
Shut up. You don't know that. Anyways, I have done
got a good idea.
The bare minimum. I've done the bare minimum. I will admit, what I should be doing is I should be physically going to their offices, to Lipinski's office. Lipinski. No, fuck you! Because Lipinski's a piece of shit who only has that job because his father before him had that job. And he's got the name.
Well,
and
that's
that's
a
why
rarity.
he's our congressman.
That's a rarity in politics.
Oh yeah, I know. It's totally rare for there to be
passed
nepotism,
down
and it never happens. Never.
From the same family.
Bush's, Clinton's, never happens. Never happens.
It's a rarity.
All right. Which would you rather?
We're talking on this.
Here we go.
On a comedic note.
Which would you
patented?
Which?
No one's ever done this before. Just us.
Which would you rather? Nobody's ever done this. Which would you rather?
Yeah.
Which would you rather be? Okay. And this is the choice. It's like the world is about to end.
Okay.
All right. The world's gonna blow up.
We're on the brink.
Or on the brink.
Of destruction.
And they say we can save the world.
Hmm.
But the only way we can save the world
Yep.
is to transplant your brain into either the body of Ivana Trump at Trump's prime or Melania Trump, currently in the White House right now. So which would you rather be? Would you rather be Ivana Trump, who gives birth to Ivanka and Trump Jr. and or would you rather be Melania in the White House? It's, you know what I mean? You're either an immigrant who've come from Yugoslavia, you're like, I don't know, it's like, and Trump's like, come on, baby, give me an Ivanka. Or would you rather be, right now,
She also
the
was
First
an immigrant.
Lady? She was an immigrant. All of his wives are immigrants.
There's not technically anything wrong with that.
No, but that's the whole point. That's the whole point. Okay, so here's the thing. So,
Yeah.
would you rather be Ivana Trump,
Yeah.
where Trump's in his prime? He's in his He's
Edge.
yeah, edge. Or would you rather be Melania right now with the snooze that's going on? Here's the thing. It's not like, oh, I'd rather be this or rather be that. Your decision is going to impact whether the Earth survives. There's an asteroid coming. If you decide to be one or the other, if you choose to switch brains, somehow that's going to push a proton. That's going to push another proton. That's going to push an asteroid away.
Shut up right now. Shut up. So what you're talking about
Yes.
is a quantum leap situation.
Quantum leap.
Where I, and you also have to decide this too.
Yes.
Where we can either quantum leap into
Ivana
or Melania.
Melania.
Do we have contact with Ziggy?
You do. You have full contact with Ziggy. Ziggy gives you the information. If you don't have any contact with Ziggy, then this is all just
That's what I'm
nonsense.
saying. It's stupid. Without it. I'm glad you said. So I'm going to have to pick Melania.
No way.
Yeah.
I can't believe
know
that
why?
you said that. I can't
You know
believe
why?
Because that's what I thought. I thought you were going to go with the other one, so I thought I was going to have to go with Melania. But now I'm 100% in on Ivana. Why?
Because Melania.
Yeah.
So you were talking about Trump in his prime.
Yeah.
So now that you've chosen Ivana,
I've chosen Ivana.
that means that Trump
Yeah.
is going to have a lot more sex with you than he ever will with me.
Oh, touche!
I'm gonna be
I
in the
cannot
fucking
believe
White
you
House.
won this one.
And
I can't believe you won this one hands down. You won this one hands down, and I can't even
He's gonna be
disagree.
getting weird with you every chance
Oh.
he gets, and I'm just gonna be fine.
I gotta pop out 3 kids for this bastard.
Oh man, you fucked up.
And then I gotta deal with Marla Maples.
And then he's gonna dump you to the side of the road.
for Marla
You're not
Maples.
gonna be the first lady.
Nope.
I hold that title. And yeah, you're not even Marla
Yeah,
Maples.
but guess who's got all the money and don't gotta deal with him for the rest of my life?
Well,
Oh, hell no. I just brought it back around. Yeah.
that's
Because I'm
fine.
free. I ain't
You
going
can have
free
the
and
money.
clear, baby.
But the only thing is, you got all the money.
I got
but
the money.
He probably only had sex with me like once. He tapped your ass a good 50 times.
With that mushroom dick in his. God
5-0.
damn it.
him on top of you, sweating, and fucking the orange hair's getting in your mouth, and fucking.
That's kind of how I picture him.
Yeah, well, I don't picture it at all.
I picture it all the time.
Gross.
All right. Thank
All right.
you
Another
so
episode.
much. Yeah, no,
Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe people will finally be like, "This is too much. We're out of here."
Or they're like, "This is the shit."
This is what we need.
Everybody
we need this
come
every
on
week.
board.
A little bit more, please. Can you be bigger?
We will be. We will be.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it.
For sure.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Mark.
All right.
We'll see you guys next time for our big Christmas special.
Ooh, Christmas special.
It's the
What are we gonna
holidays.
do? We're gonna sacrifice. Well, you'll find out.